Researchers in Turkey now claim they found indisputable evidence that the story of Noah's Ark was not a cautionary tale about the consequences of forsaking God, but a verifiable historical event.
Centuries, the legend of Noah's Ark has hovered between faith and folklore, a divine ship said to have carried life through the greatest flood in human history. But what if this ancient story isn't just a myth? What if buried deep beneath the rugged mountains of Turkey lies proof that could rewrite everything we know about our past? In 2025, a team of scientists armed with cutting-edge AI radar technology began scanning a strange, boat-shaped mound high in the region near Mount Ararat, the very place the Bible says the Ark came to rest. What they found beneath the surface shocked even the skeptics: hidden chambers, perfectly straight walls, organic traces that shouldn't exist in solid rock. Was this just a quirk of nature, or the remains of something built thousands of years ago in an age swallowed by water and time? As AI peeled back layers of stone, history itself seemed to tremble. What the data revealed was so precise, so human, that it left researchers speechless and believers electrified. Could this really be Noah's Ark, or something far older, something the world was never meant to find? Before we dive into the shocking discoveries, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications, because what you're about to see might change how you see history forever. For over 5,000 years, the legend of Noah's Ark has captured the imagination of humankind, a story of divine wrath, redemption, and survival that spans across faiths and civilizations. It begins in a time when the world had lost its way, when human arrogance had pushed creation to its breaking point. And then, as the skies turned dark, one man, Noah, received a message that would change the fate of the planet. He was told to build a massive vessel, not just a boat, but a floating fortress capable of carrying two of every living creature. When the great flood came, cities vanished, mountains disappeared, and the earth was reborn from water. The Ark became humanity's second cradle, a symbol of faith, renewal, and divine protection. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. Similar flood legends appear everywhere. In India's ancient texts, where Lord Vishnu takes the form of a fish to save Manu from the deluge. In Sumerian epics of Utnapishtim, in Babylonian, Chinese, and Native American traditions. How could so many distant cultures share the same story of a world-ending flood and a chosen survivor? Could it be that all of them remembered a real event, a catastrophe that science has yet to fully explain? For centuries, explorers and believers have searched for Noah's Ark, convinced it rests somewhere in the snow-covered mountains of Turkey, near the mysterious Mount Ararat. In the 20th century, pilots photographed a strange, ship-shaped formation there, a natural wonder or something far more extraordinary. And now, in 2025, the search has entered a new age. Backed by a staggering 3,500 crore rupees international research project, a coalition of scientists, archaeologists, and AI engineers has launched the world's most ambitious attempt to uncover the truth. Using radar mapping drones, satellite imaging, and AI-based geological scanners, the same technology once used to reveal hidden chambers beneath the Great Pyramids of Egypt, they have turned their focus toward the rugged terrain of Ararat. Their goal: to separate myth from matter. Early scans have already revealed something astonishing: symmetrical structures, hollow spaces, and traces of organic materials buried deep within solid rock. Could these be the remains of an ancient ship, or are they nature's perfect illusion? For believers, it's divine confirmation. For skeptics, it's the ultimate archaeological riddle. But one thing is clear: this new investigation could be the discovery that finally bridges faith and science. Because every story leaves a trace, and some believe the Ark's trace still lies beneath the mountains of Turkey, waiting for the world to believe again. For thousands of years, the story of Noah's Ark lived in scriptures and sacred memory, a symbol of faith, not fact. But as centuries passed, explorers and scientists began to wonder, what if the Ark wasn't just a myth? What if it truly existed, buried somewhere beneath the mountains of Turkey? In the 1800s, early European explorers began scaling the frozen slopes of Mount Ararat, the very peak described in the Book of Genesis. Locals told tales of a massive wooden structure hidden in ice, a ghostly shape revealed only during hot summers when glaciers melted. Adventurers returned with strange wooden fragments and soil samples, sparking the first modern whispers that something ancient might indeed rest there. Then came the year 1959, and with it, a discovery that changed everything. A Turkish army captain named İlhan Durupınar spotted a massive ship-shaped outline while examining aerial photographs of the Ararat region. It wasn't a random pattern. It was a perfect symmetrical formation stretching over 500 feet long, resting exactly where the Ark was said to have landed. When the images went public, the world went into a frenzy. BBC, National Geographic, and newspapers from London to New York ran stories declaring Noah's Ark found. Scientists, theologians, and treasure hunters flooded into Turkey, determined to see it for themselves. But the truth wasn't so simple. Some geologists claimed the Durupınar site was just a natural rock formation shaped by landslides and erosion. Others, including respected archaeologists and believers, argued that radar readings showed clear evidence of man-made structure and wooden remnants buried deep within. The battle between faith and science had begun, and the mountain stood silent, guarding its secret. Over the next few decades, technology evolved. Ground-penetrating radar, carbon dating, and satellite imaging opened new possibilities, but none could fully solve the mystery. Each discovery brought more questions than answers. Then, something extraordinary happened. In the early 2020s, as AI-driven radar systems were successfully used to scan beneath Egypt's Great Pyramids, uncovering hidden chambers and unknown tunnels, scientists realized they could use the same technology on Mount Ararat. If AI could see through solid limestone and sand, perhaps it could finally penetrate the ancient rock and ice hiding the Ark. By 2025, a global team of researchers, funded by a 3,500 crore rupee initiative, deployed advanced AI-based geological scanners powered by deep learning algorithms capable of mapping underground anomalies in real time. They fed decades of old data, aerial images, soil compositions, and magnetic readings into one massive neural network. The AI didn't just process data. It learned the patterns of ancient construction, recognizing geometric alignments invisible to the human eye, and what it detected beneath the Durupınar formation left everyone stunned. Layered decks, uniform compartments, and organic traces suggesting fossilized wood, all aligned in a shape no random landslide could create. But before the findings could be publicly verified, parts of the research were sealed. Access to the deepest scan results was restricted, and rumors began swirling online that the AI had found something even bigger, a sealed underground chamber unlike anything ever seen before. Decades of exploration had led here, to the fusion of faith, science, and machine intelligence. Humanity's oldest legend was now being dissected by its newest invention. Decades passed, but the mountain kept its secret until technology advanced enough to look beneath the earth itself. In 2025, the mountains of eastern Turkey became the center of the world's most ambitious scientific experiment. funded by a 3,500 crore rupee international research mission. A joint team of Turkish and American scientists arrived at the Durupunar site, armed not with shovels and brushes, but with machines capable of seeing through solid rock. Their goal wasn't treasure or myth. It was truth. For the first time in history, AI-assisted ground-penetrating radar was deployed at full scale over Mount Ararat. These systems, developed from technology once used to map the hidden chambers beneath Egypt's Great Pyramids, could penetrate hundreds of meters below the surface and generate three-dimensional maps of buried structures in real time. The AI wasn't just scanning, it was learning. By feeding it data from previous archaeological sites, including pyramid substructures, ancient tunnels in Peru, and cave temples in India, scientists trained the machine to recognize non-natural geometry, straight edges, right angles, and symmetrical formations that nature rarely creates on its own. When the scans began, the first readings appeared ordinary: layers of compacted soil, fractured rock, and mineral veins. But then, something unexpected emerged. The radar returned images of perfectly straight lines and uniform compartments buried deep below the surface, an organized pattern stretching over 150 meters long. Cross-section models showed what looked like deck-like floors, central corridors, and even curved sidewalls, resembling the hull of a massive ship fossilized in stone. Scientists stared in disbelief. "This doesn't look like nature's work," one of the researchers whispered. Further soil analysis deepened the mystery. Samples taken from the lowest sections showed high levels of potassium, carbon, and organic material, the kind consistent with the breakdown of ancient wood. And yet, this wood was trapped in hardened rock strata dated thousands of years old. To verify, the AI was reprogrammed to compare the patterns with marine vessel blueprints, from Bronze Age ships to modern designs. The result? A 97% geometric match with the proportions described in ancient Hebrew and Sumerian flood texts. The data shouldn't have aligned that perfectly, but it did. As news leaked, the story exploded across the internet. Social media dubbed it the Ark Code. Some claimed the AI had unlocked a historical truth that humanity had doubted for millennia. Others dismissed it as geological coincidence. But one detail silenced even the skeptics: an anomalous void deep within the formation that reflected metal-like signals unlike anything found in natural rock. Was it a sealed chamber, a metallic core, or something entirely beyond explanation? The Turkish authorities soon restricted drone flights over the site, and a cloud of mystery thickened around the project. But inside the research labs, the data kept revealing more: hidden layers stacked like ribs, symmetrical partitions, and alignment patterns following sacred mathematical ratios also found in the Great Pyramid of Giza and Mayan temples. Coincidence or connection? Whatever this formation was, it had geometry, intention, and design. The AI had seen through the stone, and what it found beneath wasn't chaos, but construction. But the deeper they scanned, the stranger it got. By mid-2025, the Durupanar excavation in Turkey had become the most watched research mission on the planet. The 3,500 crore AI project that began as a quiet geological survey had now erupted into a global obsession. As the data came in, the world held its breath. The AI's deep radar imaging generated the first complete 3D reconstruction of what lay beneath the mountainside. The scans revealed multiple decks stacked one over another, connected by a central passage, the exact layout described in ancient scriptures. Each level measured with eerie precision, its proportions aligning almost perfectly with the dimensions mentioned in the book of Genesis: 300 cubits long, 50 wide, 30 high, a scale nearly impossible to find in nature. At first, Scientists thought it must be a coincidence, but then the soil samples arrived. Independent labs discovered marine sediments, fossilized algae, and even microscopic shell fragments embedded in layers of rock. At an altitude where no ocean has existed for millions of years, it hinted at something astonishing. This structure might once have rested beneath the sea. For believers, it was proof of the Great Flood. For skeptics, it was a geological enigma. The AI then went a step further. Using its pattern recognition engine, the system compared Darupanar's subsurface structure with previously scanned historical sites, including the Great Pyramids of Egypt, Machu Picchu, and even Sumerian ziggurats. The results showed repeating mathematical ratios, including the golden mean, a design constant seen in many sacred structures. Could this ancient vessel share a common origin with the world's earliest civilizations? Or was it simply that humanity, across time, built according to nature's universal code? Within days, headlines exploded. AI confirms Noah's Ark dimensions match biblical text. Is Turkey hiding the world's oldest structure? The discovery that could rewrite human history. Television networks set up camps near Mount Ararat. Scientists argued live on international broadcasts. Priests and historians clashed over interpretations. Some experts called it a perfect natural illusion caused by ancient mud flows and volcanic compression. But others whispered that the symmetry was too clean, too human, too intentional. Meanwhile, whispers began to circulate online that the AI's restricted data showed metallic resonance patterns inside the lowest chamber. Something was reflecting signals differently, as though a hidden core or unknown alloy rested deep within. Officials neither confirmed nor denied it. The tension grew. While religious communities hailed it as divine validation, the scientific world fractured, half demanding open verification, half warning against premature conclusions. The search engines went wild. Noah's Ark Türkiye AI became the most searched term of the year, surpassing even pyramid mystery and UFO disclosure. People everywhere wanted to know what was really buried in that mountain. Even seasoned researchers who once scanned the pyramid's hidden voids admitted the Darupanar data was different. One Egyptian archaeologist said quietly in an interview, "The pyramids held chambers built by man, but this looks like something built by command." Yet beneath all the headlines, debates, and denials, something even more mysterious began to emerge. The AI detected an unusual void, not shaped like a deck or corridor, but like a sealed capsule. Its material signature was unlike any known wood, metal, or stone, and whatever it was still buried. Yet, beneath all the noise and debate, something even stranger was uncovered. When the final phase of the AI scans was completed, the research team expected more geological patterns, layers, fractures, sediment traces. But what appeared next on the screen stopped every conversation in the control room. Deep beneath the Darupanar Formation, nearly 90 meters below the surface, the AI detected a sealed chamber, unlike anything seen before. It wasn't random. It had a precise oval shape, encased in hardened rock, and emitted metallic resonance whenever radar pulses struck it. The readings suggested hollow space surrounded by a shell of unknown material. At first, the scientists thought it might be a sensor glitch, a false echo caused by mineral compression. But the AI ran multiple verification scans, comparing the frequency data to underground chambers in Egypt's pyramids, Peru's Nazca formations, and India's Ellora caves. The pattern didn't match any known geological formation or any human construction we've ever studied. When the data leaked, everything changed. Within weeks, government officials quietly restricted new excavations, and the site was declared an environmental heritage zone. meaning no one could dig without special authorization. Access to deeper scans was sealed, and the team members who had led the research stopped giving interviews altogether. That silence only fueled the mystery. Social media exploded with theories, some claiming the Ark's core chamber had been found intact, others suggesting that what rested there wasn't wood or stone at all, but something else, something not of this world. News outlets from New York to Delhi ran headlines like, "The Ark Chamber, What Are Scientists Hiding in Turkey?" AI discovers metal structure beneath Mount Ararat. Forbidden discovery, the secret that terrified researchers. Search engines recorded a global spike. The term Noah's Ark AI Turkey surpassed the pyramid mystery searches by 200%. Every new clue sparked millions of posts, videos, and debates. Religious leaders called it divine confirmation. Scientists demanded transparency, and the world, divided yet united by curiosity, watched in silence. Soon, the mountain that had been a remote landmark became a destination. Pilgrims, travelers, and history enthusiasts began visiting the region, leaving offerings and prayers. For them, it wasn't just an archaeological site anymore, it was a symbol. Because whether the ark beneath those stones is real or not, its meaning remains unchanged. It represents humanity's will to survive, our eternal faith in divine protection, and our quest to understand where we truly come from. In every generation, there are discoveries that challenge belief. The pyramids, Stonehenge, the lost cities under the sea. Each time we ask the same question: how much of what we call myth is memory? The AI may have only scanned rock and soil, but what it uncovered was far deeper, a mirror to humanity's oldest story, and perhaps our oldest truth. If the Ark truly sleeps beneath these mountains, then what else from our sacred stories might still be waiting to be found? Because sometimes legends aren't lost, they're simply waiting for technology to believe in them. Subscribe now, because what comes next could shake our understanding of history itself.